Well, hello, everyone. My name is Deborah Owen, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Battle of the Books for this year. And most importantly, you might see the change. It's elementary Battle of the Books. And that's because brand new this year, we're going to start with a middle school Battle of the Books. So elementary is for fourth and fifth graders, and the middle school will be sixth through eighth graders. So if this is for you, for a fourth and fifth grader, keep watching and learn a little bit about Battle of the Books with me today. All right, just really quickly, this is kind of the overview slide. We have 6 books for you this year, and we're really excited about each one of them. All right, so you might be saying, well, what is Battle of the Books, or what is BoB? Well, BoB, as I like to call it, or Battle of the Books, is a game show style reading competition for fourth and fifth graders, like I said. That would be in public, private, or homeschool students. All of them are able to participate, and this would be with Battle of the Books Elementary version this year. We're actually partnering with Portsmouth and Chesapeake libraries. So people from all over the area will be able to participate together. We have the same book lists and we'll have the same resources. So everybody will be able to participate and have a lot more fun going against different residents in each one of those cities. Like I said, we have 6 books for you this year, and we're covering different genres, and those reading levels are between 3rd and 6th grade reading levels. You're going to compete in teams of up to 5 students by answering questions about those books, and each student is encouraged to read each book, but it isn't a requirement. And this year, just like we did last year, there'll be a mix of virtual preparation. We'll have a winter social, and we'll also have those in-person battles in the spring. And the city battles will be probably towards the end of March 24, with the finals in April. We'll get those dates to you as soon as we can. And most importantly, it's super fun. All right, so you might be asking, okay, well, that sounds interesting. Keep telling me more. What are those books? So I would like to talk to you a little bit about more of those books. So like I said, there are 6 of them. There are all the covers for you laid out, and I'm going to talk about each one individually here a little bit more. So the first book I'm going to talk to you about is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. It is our fantasy selection this year. It is the first book in a series. It was published in 2021, and it is a really fun read. It is about Amari, and who has a hard life. And she gets an invitation from her missing brother to go join the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs and to fight against an evil magician. And so it's kind of like the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. There's kind of like a school teaching element to it. So it is a lot of fun, and you'll most likely enjoy it with me as well. Our next selection is called Finding Langston. This is a short book. Look how short it is. And this book is by Lisa Klein Ransom. It is our historical fiction. It is also the first book in a series, and it was from 2018, first published. And you might have heard of Langston Hughes before. He was a great poet. And so the main character in this story is also, his first name is also Langston. And so Langston goes to the public library and he finds a book about Langston Hughes' poetry. And through that poetry, it really helps our main character, our protagonist, cope with the loss of his mother, also moving from Alabama to Chicago, and being bullied. So this is taking place because it is like I said, historical fiction, part of the Great Migration northward. So it is a fun, like I said, short book. And you get to learn about Langston Hughes' poetry, as well as the events surrounding that era. Our next book is called Fortunately the Milk. We're kind of putting Finding Langston and Fortunately the Milk together because they're also both really short. This one's in hardcover, so it looks a little thicker than Finding Langston, but they're about the same length. This book is called Fortunately the Milk, like I just said, but it's by Neil Gaiman, and it is our science fiction selection. It was first published in 2013, and it is, we're also going to be looking at the pictures of this. It's like a graphic novel. There are pictures on each page. It is, like I said, a really fun comedic read, and you might be Fortunately the Milk. That's a weird title. It's all about milk, though. So in this fun story, you will see that there's a father who is trying to feed his kids breakfast, and they ran out of milk, though. So the father goes out to go get some more milk. You might think that might be going to a normal store. Nope. He encounters um, aliens and is abducted by them. He finds himself on other wild adventures with other creatures. They go through time, they go through space. It's really, seriously, a good read. You'll enjoy it. Our next book is called Wild Oak, and this is by C.C. Harrington. And it is also historical fiction, but it's definitely different than Finding Langston. It is also what we're considering highlighting differing abilities. It was just published just before we put the book list this year, so it was 2022. And in this book, the main character named Maggie has stutters when she speaks. And this obviously makes communicating and then going to school really difficult for her. She'll almost do anything to avoid speaking in class or calling attention to herself. So her parents send her away, and it sounds really bad, but like go live with your grandfather in the woods. And in the woods, she come across a snow leopard. Now, snow leopards, this is set in England, don't appear in England. But she finds a snow leopard, but because of her difficulty speaking, she finds it hard for adults to understand her. So she can say, I saw a snow leopard in the woods. And so it's a really fun adventure. She obviously, of course, makes friends with the snow leopard. And so it is actually based on a true events of when exotic animals were available for purchase for a few years in England, and one of them was a snow leopard. So it's a pretty neat story. If you've done BoB before or know a little bit about it, you might have seen this title before, When Stars Are Scattered. This book is by Victoria Jamieson and Ohar Muhammad. It is a nonfiction, obviously, graphic novel, again, obviously, but it is also, like I said, highlighting differing abilities. It is from 2020. We did do this book for BoB a couple years ago, but everybody that's in BoB now has aged out of this. And this is one of my favorite stories that we have done. And so we definitely wanted to bring it back. So just really quickly, like I said, it is a nonfiction. So it is autobiographical about Omar Muhammad. And you might have heard of Victoria Jamieson before. She's done Roller Girl and many other fun juvenile graphic novels. So Omar and his younger brother, Hassan, and they live in a refugee camp, and they have the opportunity for Omar to go get an education, a better education. So he has to decide between going to school every day and caring for, like I said, his nonverbal brother. and then trying to get to the US to better themselves. It's just a really neat story about overcoming obstacles and being patient. So it's a great story. Last but certainly not least, we have From the Desk of Zoe Washington by Janae Marks. This is our realistic fiction selection this year. It is also the first book in a series. It was published in 2020. So this book is about Zoe Washington, and Zoe is an avid baker, and that's kind of one of her favorite hobbies. She receives a letter on her 12th birthday from her biological father, who is in prison. And her mother doesn't necessarily want her to communicate with him. And so they keep, they're pen pals, and they write letters back and forth, getting to know each other a little bit better. Her mother eventually finds out and is good with the relationship between the pen pal relationship that she has, but just learning a little bit more about in depth about who you are, where you come from, and different circumstances that you can control. So it is a neat book as well. So those were our books. Just really quickly, individuals participating through Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk, they do have to register. So with Portsmouth and Suffolk, there is a BoB registration form that we definitely have a link to our website. The deadline to register with us is December 11th, though, 2023. Also schools and others that form teams for all three of those cities can let their library system know and form teams that way as well. But if you say my school didn't form a team, then you can definitely register as an individual, like I said, with the library, and we will put you on a team together with others. Really quickly, on Monday evenings, we will have discussion programs. And for those titles that you see listed there, like I said, Finding Langston and Unfortunately the Milk, we kind of are combining together this year. We will also have practices during these discussion programs. Even if you can't make it, we will record those. You will be able to access those recordings and watch those, and we do quizzes at each one, and you'll have access to those quizzes as well. All of those will be added to our BoB Google Drive. So like I said, we're supporting you. We're excited about this program. We love BoB. And so we have different aspects for you. So we have the registration forms. We will communicate regularly with email to you. Like I said, a little bit about that Google Drive. You'll have resources to online quizzes, title-specific PowerPoints, recordings of those previous discussion programs, and then we'll have practice battles available for you to practice by yourself, or with your team in the spring. We will also, like I said, host those practice city and final battles for each team and for teams together, and we'll have a fun social of all participants in early 2024. So that's just a little bit about BoB. Hopefully you're interested now in participating. But if you have questions or would like to know more information, go ahead and contact whoever would be your librarian in your city. All they're listed on the side. We're so excited about BoB. We really hope that you think about participating. And even if you're not sure, go ahead and register with us, and we'll get that more information out to you. And hopefully you'll decide to join us. Thanks, everyone. Bye.